Most of us believe in the inherent goodness of people, but what if our notion of goodness is merely a comforting illusion? In a world where actions and appearances can be deceiving, George Orwell's profound insights challenge us to reassess what it truly means to be good. This video delves into Orwell's chilling perspective, urging us to question our understanding of morality and the labels we so readily assign to ourselves. Orwell, with his unmatched ability to peel back the layers of societal norms, presents a world where the line between good and evil is blurred and subjective. His writings compel us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the societal structures that define our moral compass. By exploring Orwell's perspective, we aim to unravel the complexities of human behavior and question the validity of our self-perceptions. Consider this: if our view of goodness is a construct shaped by society, how do we determine what is genuinely virtuous? This inquiry forms the core of our exploration. We often associate goodness with positive actions and intentions, but Orwell prompts us to look deeper. He exposes the darker tendencies within individuals and questions whether our actions are driven by genuine morality or a desire for social acceptance. Furthermore, Orwell's work encourages critical reflection on the power dynamics that influence our moral judgments. In a society where authority figures and institutions dictate norms, are we subconsciously conforming to their definitions of goodness? This video challenges us to break free from these constraints and to view morality through a lens that is free from societal impositions. In dissecting these themes, we examine the contradiction between society's portrayal of goodness and the inherent complexity of human motivations. Orwell's insights suggest that true morality is not a black and white concept, but rather a spectrum colored by personal and societal influences. By understanding this, we can better navigate the moral ambiguities of our world and strive for a more authentic sense of self. Join us as we explore Orwell's provocative ideas, which strip away the veneer of socially constructed morality to reveal the nuanced reality beneath. This journey not only questions our self-proclaimed goodness, but also inspires us to seek a deeper understanding of what it truly means to be virtuous. In doing so, we hope to ignite a conversation about the nature of morality and the subtle forces that shape our ethical beliefs. Are we truly as good as we believe, or are we merely adhering to the narratives imposed upon us? This video seeks to provide clarity and insight into these pressing questions, prompting you to reflect on your own definitions of goodness and the paths you choose to follow. Ultimately, Orwell's chilling insight serves as a mirror, reflecting the contradictions within our societal and personal moralities. It challenges us to reconsider our self-image and encourages a more profound, introspective approach to understanding human nature. By the end of this exploration, you may find yourself evaluating what it means to be good and how this understanding can transform your worldview. George Orwell, born Eric Arthur Blair in 1903, is a towering figure in the realm of literature and social commentary. His upbringing in colonial India and later education at Eton College in England profoundly shaped his understanding of class divisions and societal injustices. Orwell's early exposure to the inequalities of British imperialism set the stage for his critical examination of power dynamics and human behavior. One of the pivotal experiences that deeply influenced Orwell's worldview was his participation in the Spanish Civil War in the late 1930s. Fighting alongside socialist militias against Franco's fascist forces, Orwell witnessed firsthand the brutality and betrayal that can exist even among those purportedly fighting for noble causes. This disillusionment with political ideologies and the realization of the complex nature of human motivations became central themes in his writing. Orwell's time in Spain was a turning point, leading him to author works that scrutinized the nature of power and truth. His most renowned novels, Animal Farm (1945) and 1984 and 1949, reflect his deep-seated concerns about totalitarianism, propaganda, and the malleability of truth. Animal Farm is a satirical allegory of the Russian Revolution, critiquing the hypocrisy and corruption found in the pursuit of power. 1984 paints a dystopian future where oppressive regimes manipulate reality, highlighting Orwell's fear of unchecked authority and the erosion of individual freedoms. Orwell's insights into totalitarianism and his critique political manipulation have remained relevant across decades, resonating with subsequent generations. His work continues to serve as a cautionary tale about the perils of authoritarianism and the fragility of democratic ideals. Orwell's ability to distill complex political and social issues into compelling narratives has solidified his place as a critical voice in literature and political thought. Beyond his novels, Orwell was a prolific essayist, using his keen observational skills to dissect societal norms and human behavior. His essays, such as Politics and the English Language, explore the ways in which language can be used to obscure truth and manipulate public perception. Orwell's commitment to clarity, honesty, and the relentless pursuit of truth underscores all his work, challenging readers to question the world around them and their role within it. The context of Orwell's life and work is essential to understanding the profound impact of his ideas on contemporary society. He grappled with the complexities of human nature and the societal constructs that define morality, urging readers to look beyond superficial labels of good and evil. Orwell's chilling insights continue to provoke reflection and dialogue about the nature of power, truth, and morality, making his work an enduring touchstone for those seeking to understand and navigate the intricacies of the human condition. As we delve into Orwell's insights, it's crucial to grasp the historical and personal experiences that shaped his perspective. His unwavering critique of ideology and authority invites us to reconsider our assumptions about morality and the societal forces that influence our beliefs, compelling us to seek a deeper truth in a world of complexities. At the heart of the discussion is a compelling paradox. The concept of goodness can, paradoxically, lead to harmful outcomes. This central problem challenges our fundamental understanding of morality and the intentions behind human behavior. On the surface, being good seems straightforward, an alignment with moral virtues and positive actions. However, as George Orwell's insights suggest, this notion can be deceivingly complex. Consider the idea that people who pride themselves on their goodness may inadvertently cause harm. This paradox is akin to the saying, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." Often individuals or groups embark on actions with noble intentions, yet the outcomes can be contrary to their original purpose. For instance, a political leader might implement policies designed to improve societal welfare, but these very policies might end up oppressing certain groups or violating fundamental freedoms. Orwell's experiences in the Spanish Civil War serve as a testament to this, where factions with ostensibly righteous purposes engaged in oppressive and violent actions against their own allies. This paradox extends beyond politics into personal relationships and societal frameworks. An individual may genuinely desire to help others, yet their actions could result in dependency or hinder personal growth. In some cases, people might adopt a savior complex, believing they know what is best for others, ultimately leading to disempowerment rather than empowerment. This contradiction between intention and outcome forces us to question what it truly means to be good and how our actions align with our ethical principles. A striking example of this paradox is the phenomenon of moral licensing, where individuals, after committing a good deed, feel justified in engaging in less ethical behavior. This psychological effect underscores the complexity of human morality, where a single act of kindness might inadvertently excuse subsequent transgressions. In Orwell's time, this was evident in political movements that, after achieving specific moral victories, rationalized oppressive actions as necessary evils for a greater good. Orwell's exploration of this paradoxical nature of goodness urges us to scrutinize the motives behind our actions and the societal norms that dictate what is deemed good. In a world where appearances can be deceiving, understanding the nuances of human behavior becomes crucial. The challenge lies in reconciling our intentions with the reality of their impacts, striving for a deeper comprehension of the ethical and practical implications of our choices. As we navigate the complexities of being good, Orwell's insights compel us to delve deeper into the paradox of intentions versus outcomes. By recognizing the potential for well-intentioned actions to lead to harm, we are prompted to reevaluate and refine our understanding of morality. This exploration not only enriches our grasp of human nature, but also encourages a more thoughtful and reflective approach to our personal and societal endeavors, reminding us that the quest for goodness requires constant introspection and awareness. To truly grasp the complexity of the paradox, where good intentions can lead to undesirable outcomes, let's delve into a series of escalating examples, each illustrating the depth and seriousness of this issue. By starting with a simpler scenario and advancing to more significant cases, we can see how this paradox manifests in both personal and historical contexts. Consider a seemingly mundane example, a friend who offers unsolicited advice with the intention of helping. Imagine a situation where a person, believing they are acting in a friend's best interest, constantly provides guidance on personal or professional matters. While their intentions are undoubtedly good, the outcome might be different from what is desired. The recipient may feel undermined, patronized, or incapable of making decisions independently. This well-meaning interference, though minor, illustrates how the desire to do good can inadvertently stifle someone's growth or sense of autonomy. Escalating from personal relationships to organizational behavior, consider a non-profit organization established to aid impoverished communities. With the best intentions, such an organization might deliver substantial aid without fostering local empowerment or sustainability. Over time, this approach could breed dependency, stripping communities of their agency and ability to develop self-sufficiency. The organization's efforts, rooted in compassion, might inadvertently perpetuate cycles of dependency instead of encouraging independence and long-term solutions. Moving to a grander scale, history provides us with powerful examples of well-intentioned initiatives spiraling into much graver consequences. The French Revolution, for instance, began with the noble aspiration of dismantling an oppressive monarchy and establishing equality, liberty, and fraternity. Initially fueled by a righteous desire to improve societal conditions, the revolution quickly descended into chaos and violence, culminating in the Reign of Terror. During this period, thousands were executed under the guise of revolutionary justice. The revolution, which started with the intent to liberate, ended up instituting a regime of fear and tyranny, illustrating how idealistic pursuits can lead to tragic outcomes when unchecked by practical considerations and ethical vigilance. Similarly, Orwell's own experiences in the Spanish Civil War highlight the paradox of well-intentioned ideologies leading to devastating consequences. Orwell witnessed factions within the Republican side, initially united by the shared goal of opposing fascism, descending into infighting and betrayal. These divisions, born out of ideological purity and conflicting visions of a good society, ultimately weakened the cause they sought to champion, contributing to the rise of Franco's dictatorship. This is another poignant example of how the pursuit of a moral ideal can devolve into conflict and oppression when the complexities of human nature and power dynamics are overlooked. Through these examples, the depth of the paradox becomes clear. Whether in personal interactions, organizational missions, or large-scale historical movements, the intention to do good can lead to unforeseen and sometimes adverse outcomes. The key lesson is the importance of continuous reflection and self-awareness, ensuring that our actions align with ethical principles and adapt to the evolving context. By acknowledging this paradox, we are better equipped to navigate the intricate landscape of morality, striving for more thoughtful and effective expressions of goodness in our lives and societies. As we delve deeper into the complexities of the paradox, where good intentions can lead to negative outcomes, it's crucial to recognize how the stakes escalate, making the situation increasingly urgent and impactful. This heightened awareness compels us to confront the very real consequences of unchecked moral pursuits. Consider the scenario where well-meaning intentions begin to shape societal narratives. Initially, a small falsehood, perhaps a misleading statistic or an exaggerated story, might be told to rally support for a noble cause. At first glance, the manipulation seems harmless, even justifiable, if it serves a greater good. However, this seemingly benign distortion of truth can rapidly escalate into widespread misinformation, influencing public perception and policy on a grand scale. George Orwell's insights in 1984 serve as a chilling reminder of how the manipulation of truth can have far-reaching consequences. What begins as minor alterations in language or facts can grow into full-scale propaganda, wielded as a tool of control and oppression. In Orwell's dystopian vision, the stakes rise dramatically as truth becomes malleable, with newspeak and doublethink used to reshape reality. The result is a society where individual thought is suppressed, and the truth is whatever those in power decree. Now, everything is on the line. The freedom to think, the ability to discern reality, and the very essence of personal autonomy. The stakes grow higher when we consider the emotional and psychological toll of such manipulation. As truth becomes a casualty in the pursuit of a perceived greater good, individuals may experience confusion, distrust, and alienation. This erosion of trust in institutions and each other can lead to a fractured society, where fear and suspicion replace solidarity and cooperation. The emotional damage extends beyond the immediate, affecting future generations and the social fabric itself. If left unchecked, this manipulation can ultimately ruin entire societies. Historical examples abound where noble intentions spiraled into destructive regimes. The rise of totalitarian states often stems from leaders who initially claimed moral high ground, promising security and prosperity. They manipulate truths and suppress dissent, leading to the erosion of civil liberties and human rights. The cost is immense, not just in terms of human suffering, but also the loss of cultural and intellectual diversity. Take, for instance, the infamous case of the Soviet Union under Stalin. Initially inspired by revolutionary ideals, the regime's manipulation of truth and ideological purges resulted in widespread fear, repression, and the stifling of innovation and creativity. The stakes were not merely political but existential, as the suppression of truth stifled the human spirit itself. In today's world, the danger remains palpable. The rise of digital media and information technology means that misinformation can spread faster and more widely than ever before. As the lines between truth and falsehood blur, the stakes are higher than ever. The potential harm extends beyond individual well-being to threaten global stability. In understanding the urgency of this issue, we are called to action. It's imperative to foster a culture of critical thinking, transparency, and accountability. By doing so, we can mitigate the risks and ensure that our pursuit of goodness does not come at the cost of truth and justice. As Orwell warns, without vigilance, we risk losing everything that defines us as free, thinking individuals. Having established the gravity of how well-intentioned actions can spiral into significant societal issues, adding expert insights can illuminate and substantiate these claims. One of the most authoritative voices in dissecting the manipulation of truth and morality is, undoubtedly, George Orwell himself. His writings provide a crucial foundation for understanding the complexities of these issues. Orwell's experiences as a journalist and his active participation in the Spanish Civil War profoundly shaped his views. He witnessed firsthand how ideological purity could devolve into oppressive dogma, leading to his stark warnings about power and truth. In his 1946 essay Politics and the English Language, Orwell wrote, "A political language is designed to make lies sound truthful and murder respectable, and to give an appearance of solidity to pure wind." This observation underscores the potential dangers of language when wielded to manipulate and control, rather than to inform and enlighten. Beyond Orwell, scholars have extensively analyzed the relationship between morality, power, and language. Philosopher and political theorist Hannah Arendt offers another compelling insight. Her exploration of the banality of evil in her work on the Eichmann trial reveals how ordinary individuals can commit horrific acts when moral reasoning is supplanted by uncritical adherence to authority. Arendt's work reminds us that the failure to question motives and the acceptance of distorted truths can lead societies down dark paths. Adding further depth, Noam Chomsky, a renowned linguist and cognitive scientist, has examined how media and language shape public perception and opinion. Chomsky argues that propaganda is to a democracy what the bludgeon is to a totalitarian state, highlighting how truth can be manipulated not just by overt force, but through subtle narratives that influence thought and behavior. His extensive research into media and power dynamics underscores the imperative to remain vigilant against the manipulation of information, regardless of the intended moral outcome. Moreover, contemporary research in psychology and behavioral science provides additional layers of understanding. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman's work on cognitive biases, particularly in his book Thinking, Fast and Slow, reveals how humans are often swayed by emotional appeals and quick judgments rather than rational analysis. This susceptibility can be exploited by those in power to further their agendas under the guise of moral righteousness. By incorporating these expert insights, the narrative becomes not just a cautionary tale, but a well-rounded exploration of a complex issue. Orwell's, Arendt's, Chomsky's, and Kahneman's contributions illustrate different facets of the same problem: the perils of allowing goodness to be defined by those with ulterior motives, and the dangerous path societies can tread when truth is compromised. These authoritative perspectives not only reinforce the urgency of the stakes, but also offer a deeper understanding of the mechanisms at play. They implore us to scrutinize the narratives presented to us, to critically assess the motivations behind good actions, and to uphold truth as a cornerstone of ethical and just societies. Through this lens, we see that the quest for moral clarity and integrity is not merely desirable but essential for the preservation of freedom and dignity. Orwell's insights and the paradox of good intentions gone awry aren't just relics of the past or abstract concepts in political theory. They resonate profoundly in our modern lives, begging us to reflect on the world around us and our own roles within it. Today, the manipulation of truth and the complexities of perceived morality are more relevant than ever, woven into the very fabric of our daily existence. Consider the impact of social media, a powerful tool that has transformed how we communicate and consume information. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram can amplify voices and foster community, but they also serve as fertile ground for misinformation and echo chambers. Have you ever noticed how quickly fake news can spread, or how algorithms prioritize content that aligns with existing biases rather than challenging them? This is eerily reminiscent of Orwell's warnings about language and truth being used to manipulate public perception. Social media's influence on political discourse is undeniable. During election cycles, we often see an onslaught of targeted ads and strategic misinformation aiming to sway opinions and votes. The Cambridge Analytica scandal highlighted how personal data could be exploited to craft precise, often misleading, narratives. This manipulation of truth factors into our decision-making processes, impacting societies in ways Orwell prophetically described. As users, we're not just passive consumers, we contribute to these narratives, whether through sharing, liking, or reacting. Are we aware of the power we wield, or how easily it can be co-opted? Moreover, consider the corporate world, where brands engage in greenwashing, presenting themselves as environmentally responsible without making meaningful changes. This tactic plays on consumers' desire to support good companies, masking self-serving commercial interests behind a facade of morality. It's a contemporary example of how perceived goodness can obscure underlying motives, mirroring Orwell's insights on intentions versus outcomes. On a more personal level, think about the everyday decisions we make, guided by our understanding of what is good. From voting based on simplified narratives to supporting causes without fully understanding their implications. Our actions often stem from a desire to do good without delving into the complexities of each situation. Are we, perhaps, sometimes guilty of moral licensing, allowing a single good action to excuse complacency in other areas? The rise of cancel culture also demands scrutiny. Initially intended to hold individuals and organizations accountable, it can devolve into public shaming and mob justice, where nuance and context are lost in the quest for moral purity. This dynamic echoes the dangers Orwell identified when well-meaning actions lead to oppressive outcomes. Are we contributing to a culture of accountability or one of fear and silence? These modern parallels demonstrate that Orwell's insights are not merely historical footnotes but pressing challenges we face today. By recognizing these patterns in our lives, we can begin to question the narratives presented to us, understand the true motives behind them, and strive for a more nuanced and ethical engagement with the world. The urgency lies in our ability to discern truth from manipulation, ensuring our pursuit of goodness aligns with genuine integrity and positive impact. As Orwell cautioned, the vigilance to safeguard truth and morality isn't just an intellectual exercise, but a necessary endeavor for preserving freedom and dignity in our modern society. As we journey through the complexities of morality and intention, Orwell's insights offer profound lessons that encourage deep reflection. His exploration of how good intentions can lead to unintended negative outcomes compels us to rethink our understanding of morality and truth in our own lives. Rather than offering definitive answers, these insights push us to engage with nuanced questions that inform our actions and beliefs. One key takeaway is the importance of self-awareness and critical reflection. How often do we scrutinize our motives or the potential consequences of our actions? In our pursuit of goodness, it's essential to remain vigilant, ensuring our intentions align with ethical outcomes. This means questioning the societal norms and personal biases that shape our decisions. Are we acting out of genuine compassion, or do our actions serve an egotistical need for validation or control? By cultivating mindfulness and self-examination, we can better navigate the complexities of moral behavior. Another lesson revolves around the power of language and narrative in shaping reality. Orwell highlighted how language could be manipulated to distort truth, a concept that's especially relevant today. In a world saturated with information, how can we discern truth from falsehood? Perhaps the best defense against manipulation is to cultivate a habit of questioning our assumptions and seeking diverse perspectives. Engaging critically with the information we consume not only protects us from deception, but also enriches our understanding of the world. Moreover, Orwell's warnings about the perils of unexamined ideals resonate deeply. In striving to achieve noble goals, there's a risk of becoming blind to the methods employed or the harm inflicted in the process. How do we balance our ideals with the practical implications of achieving them? This requires a commitment to ethical consistency, where the means of achieving our goals are as important as the ends. It invites a reflective inquiry. Are we willing to reevaluate our strategies and adapt when they cause harm, even if they started with good intentions? Reflecting on these philosophical takeaways also involves considering the role of accountability in our relationships and communities. How can we foster a culture of accountability where individuals and institutions are held responsible for their actions? This involves creating spaces for open dialogue, encouraging transparency, and valuing the courage it takes to admit mistakes and make amends. By prioritizing accountability, we contribute to a more just and equitable society. Finally, Orwell's insights remind us of the value of humility in our moral and intellectual pursuits. Recognizing the limits of our knowledge and the fallibility of our judgments is crucial in preventing the hubris that often accompanies self-righteousness. This humility can guide us to remain open-minded and empathetic, fostering an environment where learning and growth are encouraged rather than stifled. In conclusion, the philosophical reflections prompted by Orwell's work are not just intellectual exercises but practical guides for living thoughtfully and ethically. They challenge us to examine our intentions, question prevailing narratives, and embrace humility and accountability. By engaging with these ideas, we can strive to make positive contributions to the world while remaining vigilant against the pitfalls of good intentions. Through this ongoing reflection, we honor Orwell's legacy and continue the vital work of safeguarding truth and integrity in our lives. As we conclude this exploration into Orwell's insights on the complexities of morality, it's vital to carry forward the lessons we've uncovered into our daily lives. The understanding that even the best-intentioned actions can lead to unintended consequences invites us to remain ever vigilant and reflective in how we engage with the world around us. Take a moment to consider the narratives you accept and the truths you share. Reflect on your intentions and the potential impacts of your decisions. By fostering a habit of critical questioning and introspection, you can play a pivotal role in ensuring that your actions align with your ethical values. Challenge yourself to remain open to diverse perspectives and to engage with information thoughtfully and responsibly. Remember, the pursuit of goodness is not a destination but a continuous journey marked by learning and self-awareness. Moreover, embrace the responsibility of holding yourself and others accountable. Encourage dialogue and transparency in your communities and strive to create environments where truth and integrity are paramount. This commitment to accountability not only strengthens personal relationships, but also contributes to a more equitable and just society. Finally, let humility guide your pursuits. Acknowledge the limits of your knowledge and remain open to growth and change. In doing so, you honor Orwell's legacy, safeguarding truth and morality in a world that often challenges both. As a tangible step to carry these reflections forward, write the word intention in the comments or a personal journal entry. Let it serve as a reminder of the power and responsibility you hold in navigating the moral complexities of life. Thank you for joining this journey of reflection and understanding.